3 little girls lost their lives. A Taylor Swift-themed dance class turned into a nightmare, and an 18-year-old killer left a community shattered. What led to this horrifying massacre? This is the story of Axel Rudakubana, the Southport killer, and how so many warning signs were ignored. July 29th, 2024, should have been a day filled with music, dancing, and joy. Instead, it became one of the darkest days in UK history. 3 young girls, Bebe King, 6, Elsie Stankham, 7, and Alice da Silva Aguiar, 9, were brutally murdered, and 10 others were seriously injured. Axel Rudakubana's cold-blooded attack at a sold-out Taylor Swift-themed dance class left families and an entire community reeling. But this wasn't a random act. The signs were there, ignored by schools, the police, and even anti-extremism programs. Today, we're diving into the chilling details of this massacre and exploring the systemic failures that allowed it to happen. At 11:45 a.m., 15 minutes before parents were set to collect their kids from the Heart Space dance studio, Rudakubana entered the building holding a 20-centimeter knife. Inside, 26 girls, aged 7 to 13, were gathered around a table making bracelets, completely unaware of the horror about to unfold. CCTV footage captured the moment children screamed and fled as Rudakubana began his frenzied attack. The carnage was so severe that police officers responding to the scene were left in shock. Bodycam footage recorded an officer exclaiming, "She's dead!" as others stumbled across blood-stained floors and young victims hiding in terror. In total, 3 girls were killed, and 10 others, including 2 adults, sustained life-altering injuries. Dance teacher Heidi Little managed to lock herself in a bathroom with one of the children, saving their lives. But the tragedy had already unfolded, leaving behind chaos and devastation. After his arrest, Rudakubana showed no remorse. In fact, his behavior was disturbingly cold and detached. While in police custody, he made a series of unsolicited comments. He was heard saying, "I'm so glad the children are dead. It makes me happy." And even commented on their ages with sick satisfaction, saying, "So happy, 6 years old." Even during his sentencing, Rudakubana interrupted the hearing, shouting that he felt ill and demanding paramedics. The courtroom, packed with grieving family members, erupted in cries of "coward" as he was removed. This lack of empathy and calculated behavior paints the picture of someone who had been obsessed with violence for years. This horrific attack didn't happen without warning. Axel Rudakubana was well known to authorities. He had been expelled from school for carrying a knife and later attacked another student with a hockey stick. His parents, alarmed by his increasingly erratic and violent behavior, contacted Lancashire police multiple times between 2021 and 2022. Even more disturbing, Rudakubana had been referred to the government's Prevent program 3 separate times. Prevent, designed to intervene in cases of potential extremism, failed to act on the obvious red flags. This was a young man with a growing fascination for violence, evident from the Al-Qaeda training manual found on his computer and his attempts to produce the deadly toxin ricin. Despite all these warnings, no meaningful intervention took place. A public inquiry is now underway to investigate these failures, but for the families of the victims, it's too little, too late. The Southport killer's story isn't just about one individual's monstrous acts. It's about a system that failed at every level. From schools and local police to national anti-extremism programs, so many opportunities to prevent this tragedy were missed. This massacre serves as a chilling reminder of what happens when warning signs are ignored and vulnerable lives are left unprotected. This is one of the most awful stories we've covered, but sadly, it's not an isolated case. How many more tragedies will it take before the systems meant to protect us are reformed? If you found this story disturbing, check out our next video on the failures of the justice system to monitor high-risk offenders. Click here to watch more, and don't forget to subscribe to Everything Awful for stories that reveal the darkest corners of humanity.